Mechanics will make you or break you in the oil field. Now, this is a two-part video. I don't know if I'll delve into both parts equally here or make two different videos, but nonetheless, here we go. Mechanics and breakdowns, right? I guess I'll just talk about the mechanics for now. Man, there's some sorry-ass mechanics in the oil fields of West Texas. Salute the few that are out there that are decent, some of the guys I know, but starting out with my truck and trailer out here in West Texas, you know, I learned, it took a while to learn, to be honest, about who to use, especially when you don't know no better, especially when you're a company driver and you end up being an owner-op for the first time. You know, I jumped out of a company truck hauling crude for a big outfit out here, and the same day I jumped into my truck and trailer and started, you know, working the same day. And I worked straight, man, for a lot of days. And man, it was rough and tough, but I was making some good money back in the day when I first started about 4 to 5 years ago. Anyways, nonetheless, you have to learn to, you know, depend on mechanics. I really had no mechanicking skill whatsoever, you know, just the basic, you know, screwdrivers and, you know, flatheads and a couple of wrenches here and there. But as far as, you know, doing wheel seals, doing my own tire work, a lot of stuff that my buddies do right now, I don't do none of that. But at the very beginning, I didn't know really nothing about repairs. And as I, you know, went along, I learned to do what I could when I could. But to be honest, when you make pretty good money in the oil field, you don't want to see that truck. You want to go home and you want to throw them keys, you know, like a company driver. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. But for the most part, when you work a lot and make a lot of money, like I did in the beginning of my oil field career with the owner-op side, you know, I made enough to where I was able just to hire a mechanic. And I was like, man, I want to go home. I don't want to be in the truck so long or messing with it, you know, after hours. So I would be at the mercy of the mechanics out here. And the worst kind of mechanic, I would say, in West Texas is the one that price gouges you because they know that this is the oil field and they know that they can raise up the rates, y'all. That's the worst kind of mechanic. I've encountered the kind of a prideful, sometimes they're the local guys, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, that really stick it to you. And I hate using them kind of guys, but usually on my list of mechanics, they're at the very bottom. But, you know, I still have them in there. But before I get into that, though, I just want to say, like I said, when I first started, you know, being an owner-operator, I had to kind of learn for myself, you know, here and there some things. But for the most part, I would hire a mechanic. And, I mean, I'm telling you, if you need anything from wheel seals or other issues on the road, brakes, or, you know, regular stuff, you know, that goes with trucking, you know, I'd be at the mercy of these mechanics. And I learned early that you got to watch out going to certain shops, using certain mechanics that sometimes will do the job wrong, or they'll do the job and you got to get it fixed again down the road, get it done twice, and they done taxed you the first time, right? So that's the deal with the mechanics in the oil field of West Texas. There's a lot of work. They know that you need them, and you got to be careful on who you use, because you might have to use somebody and then end up having to get that mechanic's work fixed by somebody else. Now, I know everybody's probably going to say this is how it is with any kind of mechanicking, with trucking, but the thing about the oil fields of West Texas, it brings the low-down, dirty scoundrels, especially with the mechanics, and man, it's bad out here. We've heard stories of mechanics just ripping people off, you know, not doing a good job. Now, I'll get into some good mechanics here in a minute, but right now I just want to just drag the caliche with these mechanics right now. But anyways, so I had to learn early on, which took me a while, you know, before I really, you know, found me some good mechanics. And now I use my cousin. But, you know, it took me a little while to find good mechanics that have a good reputation, that do the work and do the job, won't leave you stranded or hanging. And I ain't gonna lie, some of them, y'all, I'd hit them with the $100 bill every now and then. You know what I mean? So the good mechanics, you have to find them and keep them in your back pocket. But for the most part, you go through so many bad mechanics that by the time you find a good one, you're really grateful and really happy, because a mechanic can make you or break you out here in West Texas. I remember one guy, you know, was messing with my truck, and I had a DD15. That's why I cannot stand the DD15s. About 5 years ago, I had a 2014 when I first started, Freightliner, Cascadia. Nobody knew how to work in them trucks. They're barely starting to learn how to work in them better in the oil field. But man, back in the day, people hated working on them trucks, and they still do. But for the most part, most mechanics really couldn't work with the new, you know, the DD15 engine, right? Of course, in other states, they probably could, but out here in West Texas, in the oil field, that's a horrible motor, in my opinion, to use out here. And mechanics just hated working on it. You know, my truck would pull in the shop or whatever, and man, they would just get pissed seeing the truck with that motor. They couldn't stand it. And as time went by, they got better at it. And now I think they can probably work on them better. But man, them DD15s, they are a trouble out here in the oil field. I'm pretty sure a lot of guys run them now. I mean, you're going to have to sooner or later. But that's why I buy older trucks with the 60 series motor, because it's just real easy to work on. My cousin does most of my mechanicking over here. So anyways, back to the mechanics, y'all. They will charge you. They will tax you. That's just how it is. And it sucks because, you know, what are you going to do? Sometimes you try to price, you know, mechanics, and sometimes you can get a good pricing on them. You get them on a good day where they'll tell you, and then sometimes you get your truck in there and man, they throwing extra charges on you. Who knows, right? Just a bunch of rip off and a bunch of buffoonery with the mechanics out here. I will say this, sometimes you can't even really get them on the phone and speak to some of these guys, y'all. They're so prideful and so arrogant. You know, you're wasting their time. It's either bring it to them or, you know, deal with someone else. So that's the problem with the mechanics in West Texas is, like I said, they know we're in the oil field. They know we all make decent money for the most part, and they will tax your ass. So the key is to find a good mechanic, like I said. But the worst part is whenever you break down and you need them, right, and you don't really have no other options, or you don't have no time, you didn't time it correctly, right? You get a breakdown and you got to get parts and you got to get running, you know, ASAP. That's the worst time to deal with the mechanic, because to be honest, because you basically got to use who you know, use someone that probably hopefully won't rip you off, that'll do the job right the first time. And of course, I'm kind of just rambling on, y'all, but this is just the mindset of owner operator in the oil fields of West Texas. You know, finding a good mechanic's hard. Been ripped off many times. And I've had some too that go out there and save my ass. You know, I had one time I broke my drive line. I forgot what part, a U-joint, going up a mountain loaded like a dumbass, and I was in the wrong gear or something. You know, somewhat of a rookie mistake, but man, it was a pretty good incline. When you're an owner operator, they give you the worst loads, and I go up the mountain and snap my damn U-joint, and I'm out there way the hell out there in I want to say Iran, Texas. And one of my mechanics, he's in prison now, I'm gonna be honest, for some other stuff. He's from Cali, but he went out there and saved me. He went out there and did the job, and man, he didn't charge me that much, you know, and that was a good mechanic I had. You know, one time I had some wheel seals or some brakes needed to get done, you know, 2, 3, 1 in the morning, and he stayed out there. Some mechanics will do that. They will stay out there with you, and you know, they will do the job. Some will just give up on you, and that's the worst ones to have, y'all. The ones that'll give up on you are the ones that'll tax your ass. But anyways, back to the good mechanics. So my buddy, you know, he would save me sometimes. He would you know, stay out there late, and he would get the job done. So now I want to talk about good mechanics in West Texas. You find some good ones, y'all, that ain't money hungry. That's kind of rare. You find some good ones that work hard, that they ain't afraid to get down and dirty and stay there till the job's done. That's somewhat more rare as well. But right now I use my cousin, and he charges me a very decent rate. And man, you know, I try to tip him every now and then, give him a little bonus, because, you know, he could charge me way more and he don't. So anyways, that's just my thoughts on the mechanics of West Texas. Now the shops, I hardly ever try to go to any shops. The fees out here are about $150 per hour for a shop mechanic, and sometimes these mobile mechanics charge the same damn rate. It's about $150 to about $115 the rate for a mechanic in West Texas, y'all, give or take, shop or not. That's just how it is. So the shops, the Freightliner shops, trash. Premier in Odessa, Texas, that's where they have the mechanic shop, trash. I lost a lot of money taking my truck to the Premier shop, the Freightliner shop in Odessa, Texas. You know, there was a DPF problem, of all things. Was there for about a week and a half. The technician could not find out the problem. I had to limp it out of there, you know, and they couldn't even solve my DPF issue. So you know what, I went down the road and did. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, Freightliner, you will be broke taking your truck to a Freightliner in West Texas. They are the worst. And not just me, I have people in the family that have trucks that almost went broke there too, because the problem with Freightliner is they're so backed up, man, you might not get your truck back for a couple of weeks. So that's the one thing about going to the dealer. I would never recommend anybody going to the Freightliner mechanic shop in West Texas for anything, even for warranty work. I'll tell you right now, it's better just to do your own repairs and pay up front the cost instead of worrying about a warranty, because man, you hardly ever get lucky that they'll approve the warranty, that they'll even do the work, you know, in a timely manner. anytime your truck goes into a shop, especially the Freightliner shop, expect it to be there for minimum, I would say probably 2 weeks. That's a problem with a lot of shops out here, and that's why you do have to pay a pretty penny for a good mechanic that'll get your truck in and out, is because the time delay. There's some places out here that your truck's gonna be there for 2 weeks minimum. So that is why it's good to find a good mechanic, especially one that can go to you, or a mobile mechanic, or one that has his own little shop that's not, just swamped all the time. They might charge a little bit more, but at least them, you'll get your truck back quicker. And to be honest, I would rather bite the bullet than try to wait on a warranty issue, or wait for somewhat of a cheaper deal from someone else. If you can get your truck rolling within an extra day or two earlier than somewhere else, man, that's thousands of dollars you're going to make in revenue. So that's another issue. Having your truck down and the mechanics or the shops being so backed up that they take a week to even look at it. And that's normal out here in the oil field. So again, y'all, the mechanics in West Texas will make you or break you. You got to find a good shop. You got to find a good mechanic. And the best way I recommend is by word of mouth. That's how you find out a good mechanic in West Texas, is you ask around. I think I would have solved a lot more problems being an owner operator if I would have got a hold of my buddies and started, texting and calling. Hey, who does this? Who does this? I actually did that today. I need some bushings done on the trailer. And I started texting my buddies. And sure enough, I got a buddy in Crane. Shout out Albert. He gave me the lowdown on the bushings, where to take it, how much it's going to cost, ballpark, what to expect, and, what he did wrong on his repairs. And also, the timely manner, right? He said there's one place in Odessa I can go to. I think Odessa Axle and Heavy something. They do trailer alignments and trailer work, on the axles. And he said, man, but that's 2 week wait right there. He goes, you take it down here to Pinwheel, that's a day or two, So right there, the antennas went up, and I said, hey, I'm going to go there. And of course, I could take it to some rinky dink or someone that will come to me, and do the work. But then again, if I got to get my trailer aligned, they can't do that. So I talked to my buddy Albert. I said, well, I guess I might as well bite the bullet, take it to this place in Pinwheel, get it all done correctly, and get the alignment, knock it out in one hit. Sometimes it's better, y'all, to bite the bullet, pay the full upfront cost, and instead of maybe like getting one part done and the other part later, you can do that too. But like in my case, just get both axles done, get the alignment, get it knocked out, and that way I don't have to be down later on. In the oil field, time is money, and your truck has to be rolling. And in order for it to roll and make money, it got to be in good, safe working conditions to do so. So again, I can't have any downtimes whatsoever, as far as that goes. And I would rather go somewhere to a shop that has a good reputation, that my buddy recommended to me. They might be a little bit more than everybody else, but at least I know they will get my truck done quicker than most. But anyways, y'all, there's my quick video, should I say, on mechanics in West Texas. They're scoundrels. They're low down and dirty. Stay out the Freightliner shop, y'all. And if you got to, get a hold of your buddies to get the recommendations on who to go to, and make sure they do it right. Even if you got to pay a little bit more, it's better to get it done right the first time than having to pay it over and over again or get price gouged in the end. With that, y'all, I'm out of here.